Okay, so this here is going to be the first match on my. After I took a quick break, I decided to get back into it. It's going to be on Numbani. Right now it's posted under Beginning of the Climb, but we're going to be renaming it as Overwatch Coaching Series Episode 1, Numbani. So let's get right into it. So, volume, I'm going to put that at about half so that we don't have to worry about the feedback issues. You won't be able to hear the callouts as much, but you can see when they happen, and I'll see if I can't like direct you through my thinking while I was what I did and why I did it. So we're going to start by moving forward a little bit past the setup phase. Always check the top right to make sure there's no snipers on you. Soldier's going a little bit too far ahead, he doesn't have his tanks with him. Dodge the hook, it's pretty good. Didn't try and eat the halt, so that was unfortunate. Had to pull back for healing, but I don't think we actually have a main tank right now. I skipped over any time that I spent checking out our team comp. Going over the side for the Ana, kind of a long run considering our team's not with us. And I think we're gonna get popped here. Try and disengage, that fails. Just me and May left. The Mega. Staying a bit too long, should remove. Okay, we did get out at this point.
Maybe we need a second tank.
Alright, so we didn't have a first tank, we called for a second one. Doesn't look like anybody wants to. Okay, we got one. Thank you, May. We didn't wait for him to get there, so we ended up getting staggered there pretty heavily, which was a big mistake. Soldier's still pushing it alone. He's gonna get himself staggered, or he's basically feeding at this point. And there we go, he got taken out. We're going on a bit of a flank to see if we can get a couple hits. Soldier's down again. It's great to do this if you've got your team coordinating with you, but since we were all over the place, I didn't really get a whole lot of value out of killing that Tord, especially since his turret's still there.
Does anybody else feel like Hook's range has increased by like 20 to 10 meters?
It's a baseless accusation there. Just not really avoiding them. Okay, your Reinhardt's out, so definitely don't use your bomb. Fight's already basically lost.
Let's wait for Ryan and then I can throw my bomb in.
Okay, good call out. Wait for Ryan before bombing. Now it may seem like wasting time just waiting here for the Ryan to get back. Okay, it's unfortunate. We got somebody behind us, so I'm gonna take them out. But we don't want to get staggered like the Somber did there by being impatient. We got popped out of our mech, so we're gonna have to get it back. We didn't really use bomb there because we wanted to have it for the fight, but it would have been a good idea to use that to get back in quicker, especially since I think here we're gonna end up dying. Yeah. If I remember correctly, we do get streets phase here, so we're gonna have to do something to get through their defenses. So I think they threw their sound beat there, and then we used our EMP to cleanse it. So although we weren't quite in there yet, it was probably a good use of it. Especially since we were able to push the advantage and take a point front through that. He's just trying to hold us a little bit longer so we waste time in capping. We'll stagger him, but he's a fast player. This is all just a bit of a jumbled mess here that we eat the frost, which is pretty good. But we're not going to get anything with that bomb. We probably should have timed that a little bit better. Asking for help and they don't know where you're at, so it's not going to do much good. Got a little bit removed from the fight there. But it looks like our team's gonna clean up well, so that turns out okay. Waiting for Mercy. Always try and pick up your Mercy because she has no other form of movement abilities and she's very powerful for a healer. Just checking to make sure she's still there.
That'll be $3.95 Mercy for the fair.
I think that was there. Yeah, that was there. Or I think he ran on a flank for that one. There's lava everywhere. I think what I decided there was to die to the lava so I wasn't giving them ult charge. But that's kind of an odd thing to do, I would say. Yeah, unless you know that team fights lost, just don't want to stagger. Because at higher levels they will definitely try and stagger divas. It's considered that she's pretty much useless without her mech, which is fairly true. She can do a lot of damage if left alone, but by that time that she's baby form, she's not going to do much good. That Torb was overextended. There's not much communication coming from our Sombra on her EMPs, but we are pushing in when she does that, so that's pretty okay.
So just learn side.
It's the first time I've heard him speaking in this video so far. Trying to keep the turrets down so that it's now the 7v6 situation. Gotta pull out to keep him being popped and then focus down Winston since Diva counters Winston straight up fight. Bomb was basically just to get mech back and sustain the fight a little bit longer because we do have time. We got a minute left. Now we're just trying to get out of here because more than half our team's dead. And I just got our Sombra kill probably. Yep. Probably for the best, honestly, considering she was probably going to go in there and get staggered harder than that was. I don't think we're going to be able to cap it any further than this. We just don't have the coordination for it. Trying to focus on the tanks that we're getting our team. Looks like Ryan's already down, so soldiers. So this is pretty much just a sustained fight, trying to hold out until they can get back. See if we can't hopefully get a little bit more distance, but we've already been pushed back from our max, so it's not too good. Don't get anything with the bomb, we just tossed it. Not really trying to angle it anyway. Even though we did have time to try and target it. Alright, so let's go on to the defense phase and see what we do there.
10 hours of private.
Now, don't need to get upset about your team's account settings. Privacy is just they don't want to be peer pressured into something they don't want to do, because like you can end up being stuck on Reinhardt but really hate playing Reinhardt. So if they want to keep it private, that's fine. I think I keep mine private too.
Toe shoes, do you mind setting up on the right high ground? It's easier to get to the low ground if they push.
No.
It was worth a try. Let me see if I can increase the settings here. It says auto, but probably not auto.
Great, so this Rhine just feeds.
No need to be pessimistic. I think he actually said that aloud, so
Maybe you should have got behind
gonna
the
end up
shield.
tilting them.
There was no shield, you were charging.
I was literally standing there with my shield.
Yeah. It's not very nice to just start playing your team. It's never gonna do you any good. It's just gonna make them mad and you mad, and then everybody's just gonna start till they're just gonna stop trying to play well. And this was pretty much a bad idea because now I'm out of mech and I don't have the defense hasn't even started yet. Although if they're smart, they're gonna wait for the hog to respawn because that was a pretty big stagger. One of the tanks is down now. Looks like they did decide to go to high ground, but he's charging in there. Probably gonna end up dying. Yeah. Good reaction time there on the Sombra. Not really sure why she was going for Baby Diva, but it could have been trying to keep you from getting it back in the neck.
Fast. Focus down the Rhine, please.
Got Hog going after Hog again, which it's a 50-50 matchup most of the time between Hog and Diva, so probably not a good fight to choose. It's another charge there was a pretty bad idea, but we're not really concerned with how they play. You gotta concern yourself with how you're playing and kind of mentality you're keeping with it. For the calm head, you can win a lot of situations. Act, they're being pushed off point. That's their EMP, so it's gonna get 2-1. Luckily, I did kill the hog beforehand. It's an okay, but the fight was already won by that point, so it was unnecessary. And it's trapped. Killer, stagger, basically. Now Ryan has to wait for her to come back before he can engage, if he's smart. If he's not, he's just gonna get staggered himself. It's not a bad idea to actually play with your Ryan and protect him when he's low, but they were all there and they're forcing a lot of damage. I'm not sure how how May managed to not get hit by that. Maybe the animation went off, but he didn't actually cast it. May's actually carrying that hole pretty hard. Good job trying to focus down the ulting soldier. He actually has a disadvantage compared to his usual mode when he's ulting because he can't take out he doesn't
Okay, so Tushos, I'm sorry I
critical
forced
damage.
you into the tank role, but you did good.
Alright, that was actually pretty good sportsmanship. We're apologizing to him. He probably won't report you for BM now. But yeah, just try and keep that ahead of time. Our Mei was actually pretty good. This was their Mei though. She did alright on their defense, but our Mei actually held the corner when Reinhardt and I went down.